Go on.
Just Kugan CASSIUS for iFall TV in association with MTK Global. What work have you had done to your face?
What?
You look different. You look like you've had stuff done. Like,
Kugan, don't disrespect me, man. Come on. Really?
No, what have you had done? What have you had done?
Oh, the sunbed. I've had my teeth done and I put moisturiser on. That's all.
That's maybe what it is then.
Fucking hell, Cougs. Kugan throwing out shade.
How are you, mate? Darren
I'm
Till?
good, mate. I'm good. How are you? You okay?
Yeah. How's your training going?
Hard, mate. Hard, really hard. Only 1 in the morning and just doing like a weight strength circuit in the night with Cole. It's fucking hard, mate. Really hard. Can't wait can't wait to fight now, mate. I'm just fucking dread every day as it comes now, Cougs. Dread it.
25th of July, Fight Island, Robert Whittaker. Yeah, talk to me about this. The fight you wanted? Yeah,
100%. He's the ex-champ, Coug. What's she doing there? Zara. She's the ex-champ. She's the ex-champ. She's not the ex-champ. She's the one who's dropping a bottle there over on the floor. He's the ex-champ, Cougs, and I'm trying to get that fight with the champ at the Sanya. So this is make or break, innit? Like if I can beat him and then get that fight. I'm not looking past him. I'm just saying this is make or break for me. I've got to beat him. I've got to beat Whittaker. Got to beat him at all costs.
Is it difficult for you that you know that you beat Whittaker and that fight with Adesanya could be there? Is it hard to kind of just get that out of your mind and focus on the fight ahead?
No. I like when I'm jogging doing my miles in the morning. I like just visualising stuff. Like I'm sure every fighter does this. I don't want to ever say cliche things and stuff that every fighter probably says because it bores me, and I don't think any of the viewers want to hear either how hard you train. I think it's just I don't think anyone really gives a fuck. That's, you know what I mean. So I'm not gonna bore anyone, but when I'm on the treadmill in the morning and doing my miles, I visualise shit. I visualise how I'm gonna beat Robbie. I visualise what my life will be like after Robert. I visualise my walkout. I visualise everything. I visualise my life. I visualise which way it could go, all depending down to me. I feel like a lot of it's down to ourselves, and so I visualise the fight, and then I visualise what the aftermath could be like, and then I visualise another fight and stuff like that. Doesn't mean to say I'm looking past my opponents. It's just what us fighters do. I'm not saying me in particular. I'm just probably saying this is what most of us fighters most probably do on runs and shit. When we're getting our miles in.
Would you say that the Woodley fight is completely out of your system now?
No, never. I'm sure you've asked me this in the past, Kugan. You've asked me this in the past, haven't you?
I don't know.
I'm sure you have, yeah. I'm going to have to find that interview. No, I don't think it'll... Because that's just come back to me there. I'm sure you've asked me that. I think it's a good question that you asked because, I don't think it'll ever be fully out my mind. I think it's just... I think the losses are there forever, and I think, as I just said to you, they make or break you. So, that loss obviously broke me. He beat me, didn't he? And Masvidal beat me, and they're always going to be there with me forever. But it's just, it's just a part of the system, innit? I think there's been 1 or 2 fighters who I can name in UFC and boxing who did go unbeaten for whatever reasons, and the rest is just they're with you forever. You will replay them and think about them forever. It's not like to say, oh, I'm done and dusted with that. As I said, Kugan, I don't want to give cliche answers.
Yeah, of course.
The fight will be with me for the rest of my life. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, but doesn't mean to say it's my life's legacy, my work and legacy inside the octagon. I think the losses are as important as the wins because people look back. Oh, look how Till come back from that loss and this loss, and I think it's a good thing to have a part of your career.
You on social media is sometimes I'm looking at your social media and I think what is he bored or is this Darren Till 24/7 Your social media is literally one of the most talked about social media, whether that's Instagram or Twitter. And I don't understand everything that you tweet and thingy because obviously I'm a casual UFC fan and I watch yourself and a few others, but I don't always get everything. But I read some stuff you write sometimes, and I just think, like, is he bored at home, or is he trolling? What is he doing?
Just a bit of both, mate. I'm just trolling and just making fights interesting. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to do it now with Whittaker because he's actually, for anyone who doesn't know, let's say that the casuals are watching, or you know, a boxing interested. Whittaker's a hard guy to sort of do it with. So I've done it to a respectful level, because he's a nice guy, and I haven't got a bad word to say about him. But then if I'm trolling someone else like Mike Perry, well, of course I'm going to troll a life out of him. Like, he's just done an interview today with like Mac Life saying that if he sees me, he's going to go to jail.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Come on, son. Come on, get off it. Take the joke, mate, and take your head for a wobble. Do you know what I mean? You ain't going to do fucking shit. You know, and if you are, you fucking come and see me. No problem, mate. No problem. Do you know what I mean? But get off all that shit. What? Just because you're a bit offended that I'm trolling you and trolling your new gear. You don't make it no easier for yourself, mate. You know what I mean? I like Perry. I'm never not going to like the guy no matter what he does. I fucking really like him. Got a lot of respect for him. And I hope he wins Saturday. But get off all this, like, if I see it and that ain't the way to go about things, mate. There's a few people who can go that way. You ain't one of them, mate. You're not going to do nothing. You can do something. It's no problem whichever way you want to take it. I'm just trolling. Whichever way I'm trolling journalists and everything at the moment. I'm trolling. Nobody is safe from Darren Till's Twitter and the Instagram game. But yeah, I'm a bit bored and I like trolling. But as I said, mate, I can't really troll Whittaker. He's a good guy. He's a nice person. But I've been trolling Perry. I've been trolling Adesanya. I've done a little bit of trolling on Eddie. That didn't work. Eddie, he's a sort of clever Eddie, because he just like always gives me a thumbs up and like, you okay, mate, you're all right. So it's quite hard.
He knows how to play the game, man.
Of course he does. He's a smart, shrewd businessman. But, you know, Perry, he's a good guy. I've shared taxi with Perry. He's a nice person. He's a bit fucking mad, aren't we all? You know, he's obviously got this new girl and he's just giving me ammo, mate. He's just giving me lots of ammo. Do you know what I mean? But he doesn't need, he needs to get out. You know, maybe he does hate me right now. Maybe he does. But, mate, I don't give a fuck. I'm trolling and I'm building stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'm building empires, and you might think the trolling game's nothing, but I'm building fights. I'm getting everyone interested. My fight on the island is the most interesting fight for all these fans. That's all it's talking about. You know what I mean? That's what I'm doing, mate. I'm bored and trolling, and I'm the fucking king of it.
Explain to me your relationship with Dana White. How do you sum it up?
Fucking couldn't be any better. If it tried to be better, it's really, really good. We speak quite often. He gets I've trolled Dana White, Cougs. He gets the joke. He's you know, I think there's always that thing now, Cougs. I don't know if you know too much into the casual, is like fighter pay is like a big topic.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen John Jones obviously be very vocal about it.
Yeah, John Jones, Masvidal, a former foe. I think Henry Cejudo, a few guys, and see, this is the funny thing, right? MTK being my management, I had a little bit of a problem after my last fight at MSG, because I was thinking to myself, right, here's me main eventing all over the world. These arenas that I was main eventing are selling out in seconds. So then I was the co-main event for MSG. That obviously means something on that bill. That bill was huge. I mean, the President of the United States turned up, mate, you know, just to sum it up how huge it was. And I was the co-main event with Gaslam. So I just wanted a fair piece of the pie and a fair share. So, you know, I done a little bit of grumbling after me fighting. I always said I always said this to Dana, mate, and I'll never forget when we were having dinner. I said, you know, Dana, if I've ever got a personal problem with you, mate, I won't really shout about in the media, and I'll tell you face to face. That's the kind of person I am. And, you know, me management and me, we said, listen, you know, for the next fight, we do this and that. And they were like, well, you're in a contract. And I said, well, listen, we're not asking for this and this and that. You know, give us a little bit more. He wins his next fight. We can have a renegotiation and blah, blah. And things went well. Things went smooth. And, you know, so I was happy. But me and Dana probably are going to have misunderstandings in the future. But I'm not one of them guys who will come out and slate him. You know what I mean? I think, if I'm being honest, I think, yeah, fighters do. We as fighters in the UFC is the biggest growing sport in the world right now, Cougs. There's no comparison. As much as I'm a huge boxing fan myself, started off in boxing, UFC is just coming over everything. And I think we do deserve more. And I think we do deserve more. But there's ways to go about it, obviously. And these are the fighters are doing their way, and I'm doing mine. And probably, you know, maybe there'll be a time with me about it or whatever. But for now, you know, I've got nothing to say. I've got nothing bad to say about Dana. The only thing, if I would say to Dana, you know, if Dana was sat here, I'd just say, Dana, you know, I do think we all deserve a bit more. And he'd probably come back to me. He knows more, Cougs, but yeah, we do deserve more as fighter pay. But as far as me and Dana with a relationship, it's good. It couldn't be any better.
Mm. Are you a fan, and it's probably been spoken about more so in this COVID period out of pure boredom more than anything, but are you a fan of the whole boxing MMA crossover? There's been talk about Francis Ngannou and Dillian Whyte. There's been talks of Derek Chisora going into Bellator. I mean, are you a fan of this or not?
Do you know what, Cougs? At first, I wasn't. Like, I was against it because I thought, right, let's both try and sort of master our first, you know, before we go and do it and this and that. But there seems to be a lot of interest around it. And the only thing I think is that if, let's say, us MMA fighters seem to be crossing over to boxing, maybe some of the boxers can cross over to MMA, like you said then. I think you said Chisora or White. You know, just to because listen, let's say now me at 175 pounds, 180 pounds goes over and fights one of the top 5 in boxing. That's the elite of the elite. And, you know, obviously, let's just call a spade a spade. I'm going over for a payday. In my mind, yeah, I'm going to train as hard as I can to beat the guy, obviously. But let's be realistic here, Cougs. You know what I mean? And could be a good match, whatever. You know, I'm a good boxer. I've got good angles and that for MMA. But then it's the boxers coming over to MMA. This is not me throwing hate on boxing, by the way, but it would just show the superiority of what those MMA fighters are. You know, it could be good, but right now I don't know what to say about it. If Ngannou goes over to fight White in boxing, you know, I think there's no disrespect for Ngannou, but I think White will make a holy show of him. I think that's just realistically the thing of it. But then if White goes over to MMA, Ngannou could seriously injure Dillian Whyte's life. Even though Dillian's had a lot of
come from a kickboxing background anyway, Dillian Whyte, didn't he? But it's different, yeah.
It's different, Cougs. And them little gloves, it's just really... And I've said this before, boxers do actually take more head trauma because it's 12 rounds of constant punishment to the head. But you're putting them little gloves on, mate, and a guy like Ngannou, like, that's scary-ass power. You know, these boxers would get injured in MMA, whereas to say we could hold our own in boxing, that's not me, like, as an MMA fighter speaking. That's me speaking as I've boxed. I'm a fucking huge boxing fan, but I'm an MMA fighter first. And I know the differences. I just know the differences, mate. It wouldn't take anything for me to just take Dillian Whyte down to the ground. Like, there's no, how does he defend it? You know, when Fury came to the gym, I was teaching Fury about, like, takedowns and defense. And one time I got against the fence and I just sweeped him. You know, it just took him down. It wasn't like even anything for me. And Fury's a huge, powerful man. There's a big difference, Cougs.
I was going to ask you about that. Obviously, your footage that were released maybe a year and a half ago with Tyson and yourself training. I think that was up in Liverpool, wasn't it?
Yeah, he come up with a few of the guys to Liverpool from MTK.
Yeah, I mean, we saw snippets of that, but I've just actually interviewed Tyson Fury, and I did talk to him about that time that he was training with you. As an assessment, Darren, how did he do, if you're being realistic, and how would he do if he decided to ever do that in his career? Because Fury's the kind of guy that would probably, you could see him doing that at some point in his career, but whether he'd be effective or not, I don't know. But what's your assessment of that?
Cougs, he needs training, and let's just say now he was to go and fight the champion, Stipe. Yeah, Stipe is going to beat Fury 100 million times out of 100 million times. There's just no way about it. If Stipe goes in, takes Tyson to the ground, and that's all she wrote, you know what I mean? But this is a massive but. Let's say with 6 months, I'm talking realistically, a 6 months to a year's training of just pure. Listen, Tyson Fury's like the best boxer in the world right now in heavyweight. So forget about his striking. He could be a pure boxer in MMA. Let's say you give him 6 months to a year of just bringing in 3 heavyweight wrestlers and maybe 2 grapplers just to drill every day. I think he could do good things, mate. I really do. In the UFC as well, because he only has to clip these guys once with that speed and that head movement and distance control and stuff like that. So we'd see.
How much groundwork did you do with him, Darren?
A little bit, but I just, as I said, realistically, Cougs, there's no point in me going in and saying, right, you need to do this and this in submission. He needs to learn the fundamentals, the basics. So what he needs to learn, which, you know, I've tried to master myself. You know, Colin always says I'm so good at it, is distance control and being able to sprawl quick. So let's say he fights a guy like Stipe, who said would beat him. But let's say now Stipe would beat him, but let's say with 6 months to a year's training of just pure sprawl, take down, defense, distance control until he can clip Stipe. You know, I'm saying it's a big ask, but it's possible, mate. So I just done the fundamentals with Tyson. I said, right, box, throw an elbow, sprawl, box, throw an elbow, keep away, distance control, sprawl. He gets you up against the fence, long legs, keep something in MMA we call the whizzer. Try to just keep strong, keep your posture. You know, I try to just teach him the fundamentals. And if I was to teach him, you know, I ain't no wrestling spectacular, but I'm a good wrestler. That's all I would do with him day in, day out, just so it becomes drilled in his mind. And then maybe he is time, mate. Tyson Fury being the Tyson Fury I know and we all know, big chance to beat Stipe, mate. But he has to train. He would have to train, and I think he would train. He enjoys training. You know, he's a big inspiration for me because it's mad he coming to train with me. But like, I'm like a super fan of Tyson Fury. One of the biggest inspirations in the world, and I haven't had many.
He told me to tell you, just remember who the number one at MTK is. That's all he told me to tell you. He
knows who the number one is. It's obviously me, mate. You know, him and Billy Joe, the trailing behind by a mile.
I know you went on Eddie Hearn and Tony Bellew's obviously podcast recently, which was very good. I interviewed Billy Joe Saunders a week ago, and Billy Joe Saunders' exact quote was, he said to Eddie Hearn, I will bet my next purse with Eddie Hearn that Fury beats Anthony Joshua. What do you reckon?
I couldn't agree more, mate. I'm permanently messaging the MTK guys, and you know it. I just can't. I've got 50 grand on it myself already. I can't see. I just can't see any other outcome. I just think that Fury's going to absolutely pummel him. I don't think he's going to stop him if he fights the way he fought the second time. A bit wilder. I just can't see Joshua beating Fury. Maybe that's because I'm a bit biased, maybe, but I want to be realistic at the end of the day. If Joshua, you know, lands a 3-punch combo, yeah, he possibly could knock. We've all seen Tyson being down, but look what he took from Wilder, mate, and got back up. So Joshua will probably have to lay him out cold. Otherwise, I just don't see Joshua in the fight, mate. And maybe, yeah, fans watching and all, I can say, you know, obviously you're being biased at MTK, and I probably am a little bit, but still, down to the facts and the logistics of boxing, you know, what I know, I just cannot see Joshua beating Fury. No fucking way on this earth, mate.
Who set the 50 grand, you or Hearn?
But I don't, what do you mean? We just had a 50 grand bet. Like,
no, but who said it was 50 grand? Like, who initiated the 50 grand bet?
I think I was trolling Eddie on, I can't remember proper, I think I was trolling Eddie on Twitter, and something come up about the 50 grand, and I said, I'll have it with you. And then when I went on the show, he said, are we having the 50 grand? And I was like, of course, mate. Of course. That's 50 grand in the bank, mate. No problem.
Interesting. Yeah, but again, it's...
I've been trolling Eddie off a number, my new number, and he doesn't know it's me. So... He's
got to know now, though, after you've just said it.
Tell him, mate. I was like...
What have you been saying to him, then?
I can't even remember. I've still got the message. I was trolling him, and I've got a new number now, and I was saying, like... it's like... I can't even remember. I was like, we're coming for you here and you think you're safe in London and shit. Yeah, mate. He's not safe anymore, Billy Joe Solomon in boxing. I'm on his heels now, mate.
Brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, I mean, look, all this talk of Fury Joshua, we learned a little bit more last week that the financial elements of the fight, which is the most important, the splits have been agreed, but there's still a long way to go before we can really get excited about Fury and Joshua. We've just had a little teaser that the main part of the deal, the split, has been agreed, but there is a long way to go yet for this.
Cougs, that's your forte, mate. I wouldn't know. I just seen something today that the WBC said he has to fight White first or something, is it?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Tyson about that. I mean, he says he has no problem if he has to fight Dillian Whyte, fighting Dillian Whyte. But what's suggested is that Fury would be made franchise champion, leaving Fury's belt now available for Dillian Whyte to fight. That's what's been suggested by the WBC. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. But yeah, it's a messed up situation regarding those belts and Dillian Whyte and the WBC.
I think number 1 is Fury, number 2 is Joshua, number 3 is Dillian. I think number 4 is either Ruiz or Wilder, and that's my list, mate.
So you don't know who you'd even put between Ruiz and Wilder?
No. I do rate Ruiz, but I think he needs to take it a bit more. I'm going to go as far as to say maybe that first fight was a fluke because he doesn't take his training serious enough, Cougs. You know what I mean? Like, I think us as fighters, you know, we obviously, all of us don't live the art of, let's say, boxing or MMA 100%. We live it to a certain extent. And I think each year as I go on, I get more mature and realise what I need to do and what I don't need to do. As far as training, that's a small part of it because anytime I'm training, I train to my fullest 100%. But it's the outside and it's how your diet is and stuff like that, etc. So I just don't think Ruiz takes any of that serious. I think he's a talented boxer, got real great boxing, and that's it. And he's got real good power. Everything else, I don't think he takes serious. Like, obviously, you know, we all love spending, but like he got that. I seen that he got the paycheck from Joshua, and then he just he's in roles and everything and this and that, and then he was come out and said, "Yeah, I'm doing that, but don't what I'm doing behind the scenes." Well, you obviously weren't doing nothing behind the scenes because you come in overweight, you fucking loads of stuff, etc. So I just don't think he takes it serious, but I still think he's really, really talented, and I think he's still got time to get a grip of himself and. You know, he could be a top boxer, but I wouldn't know to put him in Wilder. I really wouldn't. I like Wilder. I think he's a good boxer. I was going to say good boxer. I just think he lacks a lot. I think he's got the power and that's it. And then Fury in that second fight, like that fight's going to go the same way. I just don't even want to watch that fight if it happens. I just don't see any point of Wilder fighting Fury now. Fury's better than Wilder, and that's all she wrote. Beat him first time, beat him second time. I think it goes Fury, Joshua, Dillian. I don't think Dillian can beat Joshua. Maybe prove me wrong, but I don't think he can.
We just want, obviously, you boys are up and running in the UFC, but yeah, British boxing is due to commence on the 10th of July with Frank Warren's show, then Eddie Hearn on the 25th. So things will start rolling from there, and hopefully by October, November, there's a crowd and things start to get back to normal. So
where's the first fight for Eddie Hearns? Where is it in his back garden? Is
July.
25th?
25th of July, obviously at Matchroom's headquarters in their garden, and he hasn't. I think he'll announce the schedule for the 4 weeks, so it'll be back-to-back shows over 4 weeks, which will end in Dillian Whyte's fight with Povetkin.
I wouldn't mind having a bash on that, mate.
What do you mean?
Well, just having a bash with one of his boxers on it. Let one of them do me in for a little bit of money. What's the problem?
The problem is you probably wouldn't be allowed to do it under your UFC contract.
Why? They get a piece of the pie.
You think Dana's going to be all right with you going to have a little 6-rounder on Eddie Hearn's back garden?
He gets a piece of the pie, mate. Fucking 100%. him and Eddie are like that.
They're besties now, aren't they?
Eddie seems like he's a fan of Dana. Seems like he's inspired because who can not be inspired? Look at the shit Dana's doing, mate.
I think they respect each other. I think there's a good understanding there. And
I think there could be like a cross promotion there at some point.
Absolutely. Okay, Darren, I appreciate your time tonight on a Tuesday night.
I don't appreciate your time. I've got kids here screaming. They've been good.
You told me to do it this late.
Of course, mate. It's the only time I get fucking an hour to myself.
No worries, but I much appreciate, Darren. It's been a while since we caught up. So, hopefully grab a word with you nearer your fight date, which isn't that far ahead. It's just over a month away. So
5-6 weeks is it, Kug? Or is it properly 5 weeks Saturday?
5 weeks, I think. Yeah, 5 weeks.
On Saturday, it's 5 weeks. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
How long have you got to go over there and stay over there for then?
Well, I've been speaking to MTK, mate. I want to go to the Dubai first and spend a few weeks there because it's hot out there now, Cougs. Be acclimated. You have to get acclimatized to that, mate. That is real heat. I don't know if you've been to Dubai or Abu Dhabi in July. It's hot, mate.
I've been there. Yeah, I've been once in July, and it was literally you can't even walk outside, really.
You can't, and they tell you. I don't know if this is the Abu Dhabi or Dubai government. They tell you not to drive your car because there's potential of the petrol tanks blowing up. Yeah, I remember one of the guys telling me that. Yeah, so I spoke to the MTK. I said, "Listen, can I come out? I want to take the families and that, and the coach and the fighters and their family, and just say, listen, if we can get out a few weeks before, get training in. You know, it's clean living in Dubai, mate. Clean living.
Absolutely. We
do it. Sweet.
Darren, thank you very much for your time, and hopefully we'll catch up with you before you fight. But
sound.
We'll speak soon. Yeah.
All right, mate. See you later.
Stop.